Hello, and welcome to another episode of Aussie Pomcast. We're back again after a week break because Nat, you just decided to go on holiday.
Buggered off to New Zealand for a week. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
There was snow. It was awesome.
But given that you didn't tell anyone, good time to let everybody know. Just subscribe, and that way you'll know whether or not we're here. We are here. You'll get an alert to say that we're back on again. And
you won't miss anything.
You won't miss anything.
All the important things.
Imagine if you missed any of this.
I know. Like breaking news.
Yeah, like this breaking news, yes. So we're going to do something a little bit different this week. We've got some breaking news. It will date very quickly, but it's obviously worth talking about. Boris Johnson.
Bojo, on his way out.
Well, come on. He's not necessarily. As we've spoken about before.
If anything's got to be it, this has got to be it, right?
Well, maybe.
He's hemorrhaging staff now.
Yeah, so the breaking news is that two of his key cabinet ministers have decided to resign. They are Chancellor of the Exchequer Rishi Sunak and obviously Health Secretary Sajid Javid. So they've both resigned. They are big names in his cabinet. They've been there since the beginning, essentially. So, bit of a surprise. Obviously, the Chancellor has decided to resign on the back of the fact that he said that we're no longer pulling in the same direction on the economy. So, fairly big statement, I would have thought.
Yeah.
And so
that shows the dysfunction, doesn't it? When your longest serving staff members bugger off, and it's not due to COVID, and it's not for a lifestyle change.
To go all the way through COVID, the pandemic, and then just now's enough.
Yeah.
Not great look.
We've had enough. And you know what? Is he going to have had enough? I don't know. He's like Teflon. He seems to survive everything, does Boris.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if next week it's tomorrow's chip paper. But you know what? I do like to think this is it now.
Well, so there is a movement. I'll just mention it in passing, but there is a movement now to try and get a law passed that means that they can have a vote of no confidence again. Usually, it's a year break that you have to wait, but they're trying to get it pushed through now. So there is a chance.
Will it survive another? Do you reckon?
Probably not. But the funny thing about this is that a lot of people have actually come out and now backed him since the two resignations, and I think they're doing that because they just know he won't go of his own volition. So it's an interesting time in English politics, and we'll see where that goes.
Developing story. We'll see how, as is Wimbledon right now.
Wimbledon is a developing story.
Wimbledon is developing. It's ongoing.
Sorry, can I just ask you something? Have you noticed that Australian people say Wimbledon?
I have noticed that.
Say Wimbledon?
And they say everything's a shire, like Yorkshire. It's Yorkshire.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of a bit more reasonable. It's definitely a D, not a T in Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. Yeah, I have heard that a few times.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
So you want to
see
talk
you later,
about
Australian viewers. It's been nice knowing you.
Exactly.
Kate and Wills at Wimbledon. Very nice to see them there. Kate's long been a tennis fan. We see a lot of her in the royal box. She took Meghan with her the other year, as you will.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Yeah.
Not this year. Not happening. Kate and Wills were there together. I thought it was quite interesting, though, to see who they were sitting next to in the royal box. Oh, Tim Henman.
Yeah,
you remember him?
Yeah. He's our old favourite before someone came along and was actually good at tennis. So
he was Scottish when he loses and British when he wins, Andy Murray.
Yeah.
So, Tim Henman, come on, Tim. That's all anybody ever says to him, I'm sure. He's got an OBE. And did you know, now this surprised me when I did a bit of a Wikipedia on him, right?
All right.
He's 47.
Okay.
How old? I didn't even know he was 47. Like, that to me, he still looks like 12.
Yeah, but when you just kind of think about it. For
it would make sense.
Yeah.
People get old.
Yeah, exactly.
In breaking news.
He was good 20 years ago. Yeah, he's in his 40s.
But Tim Henman. It was very nice to see him.
I mean, I was surprised it wasn't you. I thought you were going to say that next to him was Mark McGowan, the Premier of.
Now that would have been much more interesting because Mark McGowan is clearly after an OBE of his own.
No, not that.
Because he's trying to get them over here, right?
Yes,
he's trying to get Kate and Wills over to Perth. He sent them a letter. Now it's a bit of a PR stunt because they're never going to take it on in that short notice. But wants them to come over here and see Aston Villa. Basically, Wills is a big Aston Villa fan. Obviously, a massive soccer fan. He's patron of the FA as well. So I mean, it wouldn't be unusual for him to attend. But within 2 weeks' notice, probably not going to happen, Mr. McGowan. However, they've not responded to his request. So, sorry, we're not going to see them over here.
And as a colleague said to me the other day, I wouldn't go and watch Aston Villa if they were playing in my backyard. So.
We could say that because we're not Villa fans.
Yeah, sorry, Villa fans. No, but it doesn't look like they're going to go. But, it would have been nice to have them here.
Would have been nice. I think they should put it on their calendar. I think they should try and factor in a visit to WA. They don't know what they're missing. It'd be nice to see these two have a quacker selfie. Speaking of selfies, though, one person who didn't have to have a selfie.
One person who
Shut up. Shut up. I thought that was quite good. This lady, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, she has featured on the cover of Country Life magazine, which is a very prim and proper,
your favourite favourite magazine.
A lovely, well-to-do magazine. And we've got lovely Camilla on there with her forget-me-nots and a Fitbit on her wrist, you might notice as well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. But...
Rolls wear Fitbits. That picture was taken by the Duchess of Cambridge herself, Kate.
Oh.
And there's been behind-the-scenes picture as well, showing a picture of a picture, which means there was a photographer there, which baffles me even more, but a picture of Kate taking a picture of Camilla. So we can see Kate in action as a photographer.
Wow, I think you just described the plot of Matrix.
I know. It's like
sure
mirrors and mirrors and mirrors. But,
I actually really like this. I think, for a very long time, Camilla's kind of played... And I think she had to. She's played kind of second fiddle and she's sat in the background and she's kind of kept herself to herself. And it's just actually just like a really nice shot of her.
Yeah, very nice. For her birthday, she's guest editor of the magazine. And nice to see Kate taking photos again.
How many copies of Country Life did you get?
I have not got any copies of Country Life. But, it does look like a very nice magazine.
Yes.
I'm sure it's worth the read. But there we go. Promoting the competition once again.
I don't think Country Life is
a competition. You never know, it might be. But we've got about as many viewers. Anyway, we're not going to get Camilla. We're not going to get the Queen. And we're not going to get Kate and Wills out here. So it's all a bit grim.
No one's getting the Queen at the moment. She's not
no
doing
one's
anything.
getting the Queen. No, she's scaled back her duties. And it's very sad. She's, look.
Oh, look at her. She looks fine.
She looks fine.
Anyway.
I've
had enough of royals. Let's talk about something else, right? And so... I'm just going to go straight into this because I can't be bothered with segue. We've been messing them up terribly. No selfies involved. Howard.
Oh, look who it is.
You remember him?
Howard Brown. Love him.
So anybody
who gives you extra?
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that?
Well, I remember a version of that.
Oh, love him. I bet everybody sings that to him on the street. I bet he never tires of it.
He never
because
tires
he
of it.
looks like...
I bet he absolutely
I
loves
bet he's
that
a lovely
day.
bloke. I bet he's lovely. I'd love to meet him, right? Howard.
Anyway, so anybody that lived in England between the, in the 90s and the noughties will know Howard is the man that was in all the Halifax adverts that just bombarded English television.
Give him a knighthood.
Give him a knighthood for 15 years. But he's back in the news, not for necessarily good things. He's back in the news because he's had a
He should retire.
He has retired.
Like, properly.
He doesn't work for Halifax anymore. I don't know what he does.
No, so he hasn't worked there in 10 years, apparently.
Oh, really?
Went to work in public relations for him for a little bit, but he used to be a customer service person, I think, back in the day. He did actually used to work for him, and he was in the adverts.
I was surprised by that. But he's had a crack at Halifax's latest policy, which is...
Pronouns on badges.
Pronouns on badges, right?
We've seen him on emails a lot. You do see him on emails a lot in Australia, particularly among young and hip millennial type companies. You don't get it you don't really see it much from a bank. But in Halifax, they're wanting to sort of spearhead that in the UK, and they've actually gone a step further to put it on their name badges now. So you've got your name and your pronouns underneath. So like her, she, or he.
Pronouns.
Yeah.
That,
underneath your name.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is just, to be inclusive and whatnot, except they've gone a step further and they've said that anybody that doesn't agree with the company values is welcome to close their account.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I think they thought everybody would go, woohoo, that's a wonderful idea. There's been a huge backlash, though. Yeah. Massive.
I think that there's two things about that. First things first, I'm just going to say that for him he came out and he said that he thinks it's a shocking policy and it does nothing but offend people. Absolute nonsense, right? Since when has putting
Howard.
pronouns on a badge ever offended anybody? I don't understand how that could be offensive. Yeah. And also,
helps if you've got to write them a letter at some point.
Yeah, sure. But of course.
You never know.
Yeah, I know. Every time I've been into the bank, I just think I might have to send a letter to Tracy. But
if
anyway,
you're visiting a bank, then that's probably what you would like to do. Because you're not using online banking.
But the reasoning for it, and it's like the simplest reason, and it's the best way of reasoning it, they've just said, ultimately, we're just trying to avoid accidental misgendering, which is entirely reasonable. Like for me as a customer, if I was to go into a bank and I was dealing with someone that was binary or transsexual or gender fluid, non-binary, sorry. I just want to know because I don't want to embarrass myself or them, obviously. And so
some people aren't bothered about that up north. They should be.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But if you're not bothered about it, then the pronouns don't bother you, surely. Like, as in, I just don't understand how it could possibly be a problem. Like,
nah,
what's the issue?
it's not like they're ramming it down your throat. I mean, for God's sake, it's a few names on a badge, right? Get over it. I don't think Halifax needed to go as far as saying close your account if you don't agree with it. I think they should just have done it.
Yeah, no,
do it and move on.
Well, no. Oh, yeah, maybe. But I actually really like that because I think if you've ever been involved in like a message with a company that you work for, and you're kind of quite proud of that message, and that you're trying to bring about inclusivity, or you're trying to do something interesting, you desperately want to put on Facebook, shut up. Just shove
So
it. Don't need you. Yeah, like they've just said, well, we don't need you. If you have a problem with it, we don't need you.
Upset a fair few people on social media, not surprisurprisingly, because everything upsets everyone in social
people
media.
Without surnames.
People saying
and a fake profile photo.
People saying it's virtue signalling. That it's too woke. People saying that they will close their accounts. Look, and Howard, what a shame. He shouldn't. I wish he hadn't said anything.
Yeah,
I love Howard.
I mean, to be honest, look, what has happened is someone's gone, I wonder what Howard has to say about it. It's not like he's piped
giving him a
up
call.
He sent out
and
a press release.
He was out on the lash when he got the call.
Exactly.
God bless him. Love you, Howard.
Anyway, just sticking on inclusivity, there was also a big report that came out this week that basically found that the UK is probably lagging a lot on some of these issues.
Yeah.
I think it's
not surprising,
by the
is
sounds
it?
of it, it's the North.
I say, judging by what my water like, I can tell you it's probably the north end of the country.
But yeah, so there's actually quite a lot of things that they talked about in here. They talked about unisex bathrooms. They talked about, bizarrely, 25% of office workers in England don't want to see additional things in the canteen that suit vegans or other cultures.
I'm a vegetarian,
That's
right?
one of
That
the
bothers me.
maddest things. That bothers you?
That bothers me that they're not allowing
course,
it.
Yeah, I mean, how does it... I'm not either of those things, but the idea that I'd go...
I mean, I'm not
"Ugh,
vegan,
There's
but,
some
you
options
know."
I don't want.
Yeah, don't eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
How
eat
is
it,
that?
move on.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's mad. Anyway, so that's one of the things. But and do you know what? Probably the most depressing thing about all of this is that we're lagging behind the US, which, let's be honest, right now,
that is not good.
They're not the pinnacle of who to follow, are
They're
they?
definitely not working the US, I think, let's be honest.
Apparently they are on this kind of stuff.
But Piers Morgan on drugs over there.
But one of the things is the unisex bathrooms. And I have to say, this one is a little
Also
bit
known
more...
as toilets to people up north.
Okay, yeah, bogs.
Unisex bogs.
Both bogs. Yeah. This is a little bit more complicated for me. So basically, this is lots of people saying, I think it's 4 in 10 do not want unisex bathrooms, bogs, right?
Yeah.
And it's a bit complicated because I don't necessarily like them. I understand why we have to...
You don't like them?
No.
What bothers you about them? Come on.
Honestly,
Like it's just the same as the pronouns. Why does it bother you that they're the same as the vegan food? Why does it bother you that it's there?
No, because...
Don't use it.
No, well, don't use it. So
Yes.
I don't get to use the bathroom.
No, but you can use... Oh, well,
I can go on the floor. I don't know what it does. That affects me. But anyway, the reason is... Okay. So there's also... alongside this, there was also a report that found when swimming baths moved to unisex changing rooms...
that's a bit different. But go on, yeah.
It's a similar vibe, though, right? It's fairly intimate.
Involves a lot of nakedness.
Yeah, involves genitalia. But yeah, they saw a rise in sexual assaults and they saw a rise in sexual harassment, right? And so my problem fundamentally is men, unfortunately. So men are the problem in all of this, unfortunately.
Okay,
and
go
so
on.
the idea that we move to single sex to anybody's welcome in the bathrooms is just a bit of a problem because some men are a problem.
It's not always men, though. It doesn't necessarily always have to be. It's mostly men.
It's mostly men. So that's
not why he is.
That's the problem. So I think but of course I want it to be, the lines to be blurred so that everybody feels comfortable when they go into the toilet. I hate the idea of someone going, I don't know which one to go into. I don't know where I fit in here.
It's a simple task. It shouldn't be difficult.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying.
So I think the solution...
There will be a day, I think, where it's just not, like, this is just not a thing. This is just not a discussion.
No, hopefully. But I think the solution is somewhere in between. And obviously there's some logistical problems, but I think they should have men's, females, gender neutral toilets.
Right. There we go.
That's my suggestion, anyway.
Well, single-sex toilet blocks might be on the decline. So unfortunately, a lot of pubs.
I know.
This is a really sad story. A number of pubs in England has hit a record low. Not massively surprising given the pandemic.
But interestingly,
very sad. Very sad. I like to think that pub culture is a big part of what it's like to be British.
Oh, well, we don't have anything else, do we?
Well,
really?
no. I mean, we've got crap weather, we've got the football, and we've got the pubs.
Yeah.
And this is really sad in a World Cup year as well, when everybody want to go down the pub and watch the football over Christmas. And it's sad that there's not going to be as many places to go for a drink.
Yeah. I mean,
there's still a lot of pubs,
yes.
though.
So it's the first time we've gone under 40,000 pubs. I mean, that means there's one
it's
every...
the thing, though. You always have to have one within walking distance.
Well, but I think that means there's one on average in every 2 square miles or something.
That's
so
fine.
Exactly. So you
There's
can...
not enough, in my opinion.
Not enough. Yeah,
I want to be able to
more.
walk to the end of the street and see a pub.
But
That's
the problem
what you
is,
want.
so it's not, remarkably, most of these pubs actually made it through the pandemic. So it's not the pandemic that's caused it. It's actually cost of living, increase in everything at the moment. So they obviously just can't get the labour, they can't get the goods. And obviously people just don't want to go and spend money in a pub at the moment. So...
Yeah, well, people, it's the first thing you cut down on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your nights out. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah, not the booze.
No.
You still get that, but you get it.
Yeah, you get
drink
tinnies
it at
in.
home. Yeah, exactly.
Get cans of Stella in from the co-op. But yeah, it's really sad. And I think, chat with your pub landlord. And, we've spoken about this before. But
for
it's
you.
a social thing.
Yeah.
It's where you go to catch up with your mates. And it's just really sad that that's going out of the window. And
it will never go.
I don't want to see it all become trendy bars, right? I want to see
Yeah.
proper, good British pubs. That's what we want. And it's really sad. And look, support your local pub. I know that at my local back in England, over Christmas, when they were saying that potentially we might not be able to staff this, people were joining in and doing a couple hours shift. Like everybody were
Helping
mucking
themselves to bits.
Yeah.
you mean?
No, they'll go and working behind the bar. And I know of a pub actually in Huddersfield where there's an honesty box and you can put your own money in and people do it.
Yeah,
That's the remarkable thing in Yorkshire, is people actually pay for the booze,
Yeah.
even though they don't have to.
Honesty boxes aren't going to happen in London.
No, they're
I
not.
promise you that.
Now you're more likely to get stabbed over there. But the cost of living thing is a massive deal.
Yeah.
We keep talking about this, but this is just outrageous. We can't ignore this particular story.
Can't ignore this. This is the real problem.
I can't believe it's not butter as well. Well, I mean, a tub of Lurpak, £7.25 in Sainsbury's. That is an outrage. That's like $13. $13. Now, I have seen pictures floating around on social media.
This is way more remarkable. This is insane.
Mental, right? People shops putting security tags on butter and cheese, like the ones that you get on your clothes, right?
Yeah, I know what security
They're worried
tag
about
is.
people, like the proper ones, like not just a sticker, like a proper big plastic thing
Right,
over
okay.
your cheese, because people are nicking them because they're worth so much. This is like the toilet paper thing, like on a different level. People like stocking up on butter. I tell you what, if you're...
But they're not stocking up on
Well,
butter.
maybe they did before it all happened. Maybe someone...
you'd have to have a lot of
I
foresight
tell you what,
to know
if
that Lurpak was
you're a
gonna go up to
doomsday
£7.
prepper, now's your time to shine.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
If you've been stockpiling butter and cheese.
Well done, you.
This is an absolute outrage. There's been reports of it being up to £9 for a block of butter.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, a lot of people having dry toast in Britain right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but just everything is going up at the moment. There's some things are going up like 10% overnight. So it's not even like a gradual problem that people are seeing.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's
over the cost of your shopping bill. That's a lot.
So the average shopping bill has now gone up £40 per month.
That's a lot, that. And
a lot of money.
over here, the discussion is all about lettuce, and lettuce is costing a fortune. Over there, I mean, you can go without lettuce.
I mean,
You can't
almost anyone could go out without
but
lettuce,
like
apart from rabbits.
butter and
obviously.
cheese, that's a staple, in my opinion.
Okay,
That's
right. So just to make it clear, you can go without lettuce, but you can't go without Lurpak.
Can't go without Lurpak.
Okay, cool.
I love my Lurpak. It's good as well, Lurpak. We'll add. Average price of a joint of beef has risen to £11.34 a kilogram. That's why I'm vegetarian, guys. Chicken is up to £3 a kilogram. So it's expensive, basically.
Yep. On
So
top of your fuel, on top of your mortgage, on top of the...
you can't drink and you can't eat. But apart
Other than that?
apart from that, life's looking good, isn't it?
There's nowhere to even go to the pub.
But you can afford to go to the cinema, it
Apparently
seems.
they can, yeah.
Important things. And this particular story, it was talking about a TikTok craze. It's on the TikToks. And it's around Minions. Now, new movie that's come out. I actually don't mind Minions. I think it's quite funny, right? Okay. But this annoys me because there's been people dressing up in suits, right?
And suits. What a nightmare.
And that's not the outrage.
Right, okay, sorry.
And then going down the cinemas and cheering and making a racket while movies on. I mean, I'm sorry, I hate this kind of rubbish, right? Yeah. When I go to the cinemas, I want everybody to shut up with their popcorn. Yeah, so it's a few hours of peace and quiet. And especially for dads like yourself, you know, I'm sure if the rare occasion you get to go to the cinemas, it's a chance for a nap, probably for you. And you're not going to get a nap at these cinemas because these guys have been doing this thing called Gentle Minions, where they dress up in suits, turn up at the cinemas and cheer about the fact that it's been 5 years since the last Minions movie during like appropriate spots in the movie, and it's annoying everyone.
But I'm conscious about all of these kind of things when we talk about them. Stupid. That I sound like I'm the oldest man on the planet.
You are, but yeah,
I don't understand the internet. But
the internet.
Seriously, I just don't get it. I don't understand why are people doing it? What's the point?
I don't know. It's TikTok. It's anything.
TikTok.
Anything can happen. Do it for likes.
I read an article the other day that was trying to explain it and saying that it's a parody. It's actually a take on the corporate world. What?
It's upsetting everybody else.
Teenagers dressing in suits and annoying people.
What's cinema to give 1,300 quid's worth of refunds over this? Because if you've disrupted someone at the cinema, like, you can actually go and say, actually, I want a refund because these idiots haven't been kicked out. This is why we have to have security at the bloody cinema, guys. Come on, it's no wonder no one can make any bloody money in post-pandemic because of these knobheads.
I actually, like, when I first saw it, I thought, like, and I didn't know that they were making a noise and they were doing the whole cheering thing. I actually thought it was just a group of lads going, should we put on a suit and go to the cinema, which is quite funny. That's just
some
weird.
Cinemas have banned suits because of it to try and preempt it. So if you're like a formal dresser, now is not your time to shine.
If you're a formal dresser and you're desperate to see Minions, the kids show, then
bad news for you.
Call it a night. Yeah. What's the world coming to?
Because there's a lot of them in the UK. I'm sure everybody puts on a suit to go to cinema.
If you haven't been to the cinema in a suit, you don't know what you're doing.
No, they're putting their hoodies on and their tracky pants. They are over here anyway. Ugg boots. Oh. Anyway, right, we've got to talk about the sport, haven't we? The crickets. This is your thing. I know about as much of the crickets as you know about the internet. So go on, off you go.
I'll tell you who those are. That's Joe Root and that's Johnny Bairstow, right? Okay, so Joe Root used to be our captain. He's no longer our captain.
I know this. I'm not
since
stupid.
He's not our captain, we're the best team in the world. It's remarkable, honestly. So Ben Stokes has become our. This is like, honestly, 7 weeks ago. Ben Stokes comes in and becomes our captain. Mm-hmm. We take New Zealand's greatest player ever and make him our coach, and then all of a sudden we're playing baseball. We're honestly, I can't be bothered to explain that to you.
Don't.
Yeah, okay, but anyway, we are now, honestly, it's just remarkable the turn of the English cricket team at the moment. We were losing to everybody and it was embarrassing and people weren't going, and now you can't get tickets because they're just absolutely hammering everybody.
I might get on the bandwagon for this.
Honestly, in the last 4 tests, so they beat New Zealand 3-0 and they've just beaten India to draw a test, but that's a long story. They've made 3 of the biggest run chases, 3 of the top 10 biggest run chases in our history in 4 games underneath that partnership.
Is it amazing? Nice work. Good to see someone doing half decent in Britain. And on that bombshell, if you're still here, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're subscribed and hopefully you got your alerts on so you can see us next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.